What is up, Riftbound players? Welcome back to the channel. Now that we finally know all the legends and all the cards coming out with this next set Unleashed, it is time we get back to our deck tech videos. Today we are diving deep into the forest, built around the Green Father himself, Ivern. We are going to explore the massive pool of cards that synergize with his unique terra-forming playstyle. We will break down everything from his core engine to the massive animal units that keep his zoo alive. Let's get into the deck tech. The entire engine revolves around the legend and his supporting champion forms. Ivern Greenfather. This legend is the core of the whole deck, allowing you to terraform the board by creating brush tokens. New card alert. The new Unleashed set introduces token battlefields. Token battlefields are just like regular battlefields, but they add or replace existing battlefields to add another layer of play. These token battlefields can be removed from play by your opponent when they conquer or hold the battlefield. With that in mind, when the brush token gets added to the game, it gives bird, cat, dog, poro, and Ivern units +1 might. He naturally scales your army for free. This continuous stat advantage makes your wide boards incredibly difficult for your opponent to clear. Also note that the brush token replaces a battlefield when you use it. So if you had a battlefield like Arena's Greatest, it will no longer be Arena's Greatest, it will be the brush, and it would apply that stat buff. Ivern, Friend for All. This champion acts as your primary alternate win condition by rewarding you for building a diverse zoo of cards. Scoring a free point for having all 4 animal tags adds a massive clock to the game. It forces your opponent to scramble for answers before you simply outscore them. Just to re-clarify, you will need bird, cat, dog, and poro units on your board, not necessarily at a battlefield. So as long as you have 4 of those tags on your side of the board, you're allowed to gain that extra score. Next, we have Ivern Nurturer. This champion form provides unparalleled consistency by letting you dig through your deck for crucial animal units. Not only does it keep your hand full, but it also hands out free might buffs whenever you reveal an animal tag. This constant stream of resources and stats ensure you never run out of steam in longer games. With all the champion units out of the way, it's time to go on to his signature spell, Daisy. This signature spell serves as your ultimate payoff for flooding the board with animal tags. Because Daisy's cost drops for each distinct tag on your board, you can often play her for practically nothing to generate massive tempo. Attacking with all 4 tags also activates the ability for her to stun a unit, effectively shutting down their best defender or attacker for the turn. Now, let's move on to the best battlefields that work with Ivern. First up, we all know, Reckoner's Arena. This battlefield is perfect for an aggressive game plan because it turns holding into an offensive action. Triggering your Conqueror abilities simply by holding adds a layer to the burst value your opponent won't get. It accelerates your game plan significantly when you already have a board established. Next, we'll move on to Vilemon's Lair. This battlefield acts as a trap, literally locking enemies' units there. Preventing them from moving back to their base means they are focused to make unfavorable trades. It ensures your terrain manipulation yields maximum combat value. Next, Grove of the Godwillow. This is your most straightforward value engine for maintaining card advantage. Drawing a card simply by holding this battlefield keeps your hand stocked with threats. It provides a reliable way for you to dig for combo pieces without spending additional runes. Next, we have Dusk Rose Lab. This battlefield is the cornerstone of the slower grinding variant. Sacrificing a unit with a death knell effect before scoring happens lets you double dip on value while drawing a card. It turns your tiny expendable units into powerful draw engine. For Farian War Camp, this battlefield provides a blanket buff that makes your wide board even more threatening, giving +1 might to all units here. including attackers, swinging the combat heavily in your favor when you need it most. It synergizes perfectly well with the brush tokens to create mathematically unbeatable unit swarms. And finally, we have Amateur Recital. This battlefield offers incredible tempo control by allowing you to bounce a unit back to its base. When you hold here, you can completely rest an opponent's massive threat or save one of your own units from danger. It forces the opponent to constantly recommit resources to the board. Now we'll move on to the champion unit support. We need high impact champions to support the Greenfather and disrupt the opponent. Vi Peacekeeper. This unit introduces the ambush keyword to let you drop her into a fight as a reaction. Her ability to immediately stun an enemy unit on attack completely disrupt the opponent's combat math. She provides essential sudden interactions that can instantly turn a losing battle into a victory. Next up, we also have Janna. This champion operates as the ultimate utility piece to rescue your board state at reaction speed, healing your units while simultaneously bouncing a massive enemy threat back to its base creates a huge tempo swing. She single-handedly ruins the opponent's carefully planned attack phase. Next, Yummi the Magical Cat. This champion is your premier defensive scaler, turning any friendly unit into an impenetrable wall. Granting +3 might and the tank keyword forces the opponent to waste their attacks on a target they literally cannot kill. She is essential for stalling the game until your zoo is fully established. Next, Ash Focused. This champion is your ultimate weapon against control-heavy matchups, forcing the opponent to reveal their hand and banishing a key card strips away their best answers to your board. It ensures your zoo is safe from board wipes until they manage to successfully hold. And finally, the last champion unit, Soraka Wanderer. This champion provides a frustrating blanket of protection for your entire board, forcing the opponent to hit her last while she intercepts lethal damage meant for your smaller units, keeping your engine alive. She effectively makes your key synergy pieces impossible to remove through standard combat. And finally, we have the units needed for Ivern. We need bodies to trigger the tag synergies and flood the board. Ultra Soft Poro. This unit is the most efficient tag generator in the entire deck. Tapping to create 2 bird tokens with defect rapidly instantly fuels your distinct tag count for Daisy and Friendship, a card we'll get to later. It provides instant board presence while demanding extra resources from the opponent to clear. Frisky Hunter. This unit provides excellent early game value by bringing a deflect bird token along with it. It helps establish your board presence quickly while immediately providing 2 bodies for your terrain buffs. The built-in deflect mechanic makes it annoying for opponents to deal with effectively. Stalking Wolf. This unit uses the ambush keyword again, like we talked to earlier, to surprise your opponent with a sudden threat. Sacrificing a small animal token as an additional cost is a minor price for cheating out a sizable body at reaction speeds. Next, we move to Vile Maw. This is a huge and insane card. This massive drop serves as your ultimate combat trick. Dropping him with ambush to blank the combat damage of all weaker enemy units completely ruins your opponent's attack. Additionally, drawing a card when he holds provides excellent late game staying power. Vile Maw is very cool and is one of my favorite cards in the new set. The fact that when you play Vile Maw, any unit that's lower than him doesn't deal combat damage can insanely swing a battle in your favor. Him paired with his own battlefield Vile Maw's lair is very fitting and very cool. Next, Mutated Mauser. This unit is a premier defender that helps stall the early game, with Shield 2 giving it extra might while defending and the tank keyword. It effectively absorbs multiple hits. It protects your more valuable engine pieces while you set up for a brush terrain, a brush token battlefield, or your Ivern card, your champion unit. Next, trusty Ramhound. This is a cheap unit, efficient attacker that loves the wide board state of this deck, or of Ivern, I should say. Gaining an automatic might buff simply by having a friend alongside him makes him a potent early game threat. He synergizes beautifully with the brush buff to hit well above his weight class. Crimson Pigeons. This unit excels at pushing aggressive damage alongside your swarm of tokens. The extra +2 might when attacking with a buddy makes it surprisingly heavy hitter for its cost. It forces the opponent to awkward block early in the game. Next up, another card we have is another Poro card, Loyal Poro. This unit provides excellent insurance against early board clearers, drawing a card when it dies, as long as it didn't die alone. Keeps your hand healthy. It actively rewards you for committing multiple units to the board. Soaring Scout. Everyone knows Soaring Scout. It's got Death Knell. When it dies, channel 1 additional ruin. This unit acts as a sneaky ramp engine for the deck when it, or for Ivern when it dies, channeling an exhausted ruin upon its death and giving you permanent resource advantage for the rest of the game. It's perfect fodder for a battlefield like Duskroad's Lab. Starhound. This unit acts as a crucial graveyard recrusion to bring back your most important animals. Returning a key Poro or a bird to your hand ensures you can build your board after a huge battle or a board wipe. It guarantees you always have the fuel needed to trigger your Daisy discount. Finally, we have Daring Poro and Stalwart Poro. These Poros offer flexible utility depending on whether you are on the offensive or the defensive. Daring scales might when attacking, while Stalwart provides excellent defending with shield. They are cheap, versatile bodies that carry the all-important Poro tag, so don't skip out on them. Next, we'll move on to the seals, gears, and equipment. Ivern relies on his animals, so there's not that much I would recommend. The only gear I would recommend is Savage. This action is our dedicated answer to gear-heavy decks. Destroying an opponent's powerful equipment while replacing it in your hand is incredibly valuable. It ensures you don't instantly lose to a heavily armored enemy champion. Now we'll move on to the spells. Our spell package is all about interaction, protection, and manipulating the board. Friendship, as I mentioned earlier. This reaction spell is the ultimate payoff for maintaining a diverse petting zoo, so to speak. Granting a unit +1 for every distinct animal tag on your board creates a massive, unexpected combat swing. It is the best combat trick in the deck for protecting key units or securing lethal attacks. Defy and Not So Fast. These reaction spells are your primary tools for protecting your board from enemy interaction. Defy counters cheap removal, while Not So Fast protects your units from targeted abilities. They force the opponent to play cautiously and second guess their removal spells. Plonk. This action provides repeatable lockdown potential against aggressive decks. Stunning an attacking unit multiple times by paying the extra cost stops incoming damage in its tracks. It buys you critical turns needed to establish your board and petting zoo. Unguard and Discipline. These spells provide flexible combat buffs to win tight trades. Unguard rewards you for an isolated unit, while Discipline offers a raw stat boost and replaces itself by drawing a card. They keep the opponent guessing during every single combat phase. Grand Stratagem. This action is a game-ending finisher for when your board is fully flooded. Giving your entire team +5 might simply overwhelms the opponent's defenses in a single turn. It is a perfect way to close out a game once your zoo is assembled. Reinforce. This spell acts as an incredible late game top end value. Cheating out a massive unit from the top of your deck with a huge cost reduction can instantly swing the board state. It provides a massive threat without tapping out your mana reserves. Back Off. This hidden spell is a phenomenal defensive tool that you can set up in advance. Stunning a unit for 0 mana when flipped completely ruins combat math. Additionally, drawing a card when played directly from the hand provides nice flexibility and replaces itself. Emperor's Divide. Another hidden spell is your ultimate escape button for when things go terribly wrong, bouncing your entire board back to base to allow you to dodge board wipes or terrible combat trades. It provides a massive safety net for your carefully assembled zoo. Facebreaker. This, again, another hidden spell, is incredible for freezing the board state when both players commit heavily. Stunning a friendly unit to lock down the opponent's best attacker is a trade you will gladly take. It is a fantastic tool for stalling the game until you draw your combo pieces. And finally, we have Block. Again, this card I haven't seen a lot in many decks, but in Ivern, it actually can work decently well. Again, another hidden card, turns any of your units into an impenetrable wall, granting shield 3 and the tank keyword for 1 power, when flipped obviously. It is a perfect way to protect your green father while he terraforms the board. Next, we'll move into some combos that I think will work well with the Ivern deck. The first combo we have is you want to flood the board using Ultra Soft Portal to instantly generate 2 bird tags with Deflect, allowing you to cheat out Daisy way ahead of mana curve. You pair this with Thwonk and Facebreaker to completely lock down the combat phase. Another combo you can use is with Dusk Rose Lab. You use it to sacrifice Death Knell units like Soaring Scout to generate value, while leaning on Emperor's Divide to safely return your units to base when a combat phase goes terribly wrong. Now that you know the card pool, here are 2 distinct ways to build the Ivern deck. The first way is a mid-range zoo type. This build is all about proactive aggression. You use Reckoner's Arena and Vilemaw's Lair to trap the opponent in bad trades. It explodes onto the board, demanding immediate answers. Using Ash Focus provides incredible hand disruption against control decks trying to wipe your board. It is heavily reliant on a wide board state. If you lose your tag generators, your heavy hitters become too expensive to cast. Next deck is the Grinding Hold deck. This variant is much slower, relying on pure attrition and massive defensive stats. You use Dusk Rose Lab to sacrifice units and Emperor's Divide to save your board. It is a literal fortress. You use Yummi Magical Cat alongside hidden spells like Block to make your units mathematically unkillable, while Soraka offers a blanket of protection for smaller units in the early game. It takes a few turns to set up your bush tokens and tag synergy, making you vulnerable to fast starts before your walls are built. Grab your poros, plant your brush, and start experimenting. Let me know in the comments which Unleashed champion we should take on next into the lab. And if you like this stuff, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this Ivern deck guide video, and I'll see you in the next one.